the ZvZ, I wonder? Well, let's find out. We have to the top right-hand side the red Zerg player. It is Losira, as he is spawning into the top right-hand side of Frost. And down to the bottom right is going to be our blue Zerg player. It is Impact. Spawning in. Let's have a look to see what he can get up to over the next few minutes as well. Alright, so set up into this. I see a drone moving out onto the map, and I'm going to put down a hatchery in a moment or so. Both players opening with the hatchery first here on Frost. So hatchery first coming down on Frost and just setting up into this with nice standard play so far. Neither player going to try and gas pool their opponents out. I mean, it is Frost where anything can sort of happen, really. So the kind of 4-player aspect of Frost can mean that actually aggression can sort of work out just because you don't scout it at all. Obviously, it means that kind of, to some extent, you can be a little bit greedy. I mean, Hatch first isn't necessarily greedy. You can be kind of a little bit more, you don't have to worry so much about the cheese, because some people just don't like doing it on this little bit of a larger map. So let's see how this goes. Just going to be seeing this overload coming up towards the upper right-hand side. That's going to be seeing the hatchery coming down here. As this overload from Impact just comes in overhead. I'm just going to be, again, both players identifying the hatchery first in the very early stages of the game. So hatchery first just being identified. And again, both players should be fairly content with that, considering they've gone hatch first themselves. So all should be good. Overlord's still moving around too. I mean, both players at this point will want to just set up their overlords sort of in position so they can kind of keep an eye on what's happening throughout the game. And sort of keep an eye on, where their opponent's units are coming from, if there is units coming their way or not that they have to prepare for, and so on and so on. Now we see a lair coming up very quickly here from Impact. So that's a little bit of a different way of going about things. And we'll probably see Rotron and Evo Chamber as a follow-up to this. But I mean, it's kind of weird, like, we had this kind of phase where Rotron and Evo Chamber was a super kind of quick way to kind of like go about things, I guess. Like Rotron and Evo Chamber, and you just set up nicely into kind of a +1 roach speed timing. So it's going to be exactly what it is out of Impact. Now, Losira is going to go Rotron. He actually has a lot of gas. He's going to start his lair now as well. So I was going to say, like, the lair super early doesn't make a lot of sense, because the lair is going to finish here before the Rotron, right? And so he's going to have a little while where the lair's finishing, the Rotron isn't, so the upgrades aren't going to line up exactly correctly. I feel as though Losira's way of doing this is just going to line up a little bit better. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see the timings of those upgrades, but a little bit interesting already as these two queens move out the front. They've picked off an Overlord, so Impact has to rebuild that. That's one little advantage already taken. Okay, so Impact, yeah, he's not going to go roach speed, so the timing makes a lot more sense if he does go Aspire. It's just going Spire is such a weird thing to do, and now taking the second fit gas so late, very weird thing to do. Not late, just different, because obviously he already had a lot of gas early from the fact he didn't make Ling speed or anything. So yeah, very interesting way to open for Impact. Super fast Spire coming in. And the lair about to finish up from Losira, who goes into his +1 missile upgrade right away. His Roach Warren is going to be finished already, so he can go straight to Roach speed. You can see he's got it selected. He was waiting for Roach speed, and he starts that immediately. So Glavery Constitution starts up as well, and he sets up into this. Overseer just going to continue moving around in towards the main base or so. A couple more Overlords moving out from the main. Third base coming down from Losira too. And there's that Spire again just behind this mineral line, about 75% of the way done. Currently unscouted. Kind of weird still, because he only has 4 gases and he doesn't have that much gas either. He's made a couple of defensive roaches and so on, and that doesn't really help him out given the situation, as you can see. I mean, the Overseer at the front should also be, almost be able to kind of tell what's going on anyway. Sees no research on the Roach Warren, sees no research on the Evo Chamber. And knowing that neither of these are upgrading, it means that this, it means that he should be able to tell that there's probably a Spire in play instead. And the Losira does now have a Changeling in the main base, so Spire has been scouted, And what's the response going to be? An immediate Nidus network goes down. Wow, puts that down straight away. Starts more queens as well. Rotoron is going to start from impacting the main base. Why is he building a second Rotoron? I've got absolutely no idea. Maybe he's afraid of his Rotoron going down at the front and wants another one to be able to build more Roaches from still if he loses the first one. Very interesting. Now, there's still this Ling in the main base from the Seer, this Changeling in the main base. And this Changeling is super important because with this Changeling, he can drop a Nidus anywhere in this main, you know? And, you know, it's not necessarily about hiding it. It's just about getting it down somewhere useful. Actually use the Overseer to put it in down to the bottom left side of the main. So here we go. Nidus is on the way up. And it's getting to that point where it's time for Impact to try and defend this. He actually has a lot of Roaches and Mutants come into position straight away. Can Queens come out of this in time? No is the answer. They cannot. Nidus goes down. Losira's initial attempt to kind of punish this is being denied. So this is nice. A few Mutants still up on the map for Impact. He's denied the Nidus initially. Let's see if he can continue on with this, and let's see if he can continue to keep himself in a pretty decent position from this initial defense which we've seen. Signs himself a Roach Losira. I mean, anything you can pick off with the Mutas is going to be a nice pick off. Anything you can get for free is going to be an extra little bonus for himself. A few more Roaches of Impact going down that side. Losira going to try and attack again. Drops another Nidus, but I think it got spotted immediately by the Mutas, so he pulls into position straight away. Roaches are thinking about kind of coming in. It's kind of weird. He's like, do I leave my Roaches on the low ground? Do I pull them into the main? He's going to leave them on the low ground. No, he shuts it down immediately once again anyway. So again, Losira doesn't get much love from the Nidus. Goes into a +2 attack upgrade. That's something he's going to take a pretty significant lead in here very soon. Both players with the Roach speed upgrade up. And he goes into a few more Mutas now as well. I wonder if he's just saying, I wonder if you've made enough to actually fight against Mutas. Or to deal with Mutas. Or if I just need to make some more Mutas to actually get value out of them at all. Either way, some more Mutas on the way up as he goes into the +1 upgrade. He's going to be able to grab an overlord kill here as well. I'll just pull back for a couple more moments as another Nidus comes up. It's spotted once again. Impact is not letting these Niduses do anything at all. So it's going to be another shutdown immediately. And Losira just continues to throw minerals and gas into the meat grinder right now. These networks not achieving anything at all. As you see this one too, he does. Mutas are overhead. Roaches are nearby. There's another Nidus network that goes down without doing absolutely anything at all. Roaches pick that off super quickly here. As another one comes into the bottom center watchtower. Now this may finally be the Nidus which goes up, although that said, the Overlord spots it again. Roach is moving forwards, Mutas coming back. It's going to get a little bit more kind of, it so nearly gets there, but just not quite in the end again. And it's Impact who once again defends this. Resources lost at 1750 to 525, more or less, just from the fact that there's, yeah, more or less just from the fact that there's like a ton of, just from the fact that there's been a ton of Nidus that failed here. Queen at the back going to get picked off. I mean, it's a one with a lot of energy as well, so it's actually quite a big pick off. A second Queen 2 goes down. Another Queen full of energy. I mean, he's going to transfuse it up, but it's still nice. The Mutas forcing some transfuses before this kind of engagement really starts. Another Roach picked off here as well. And Impact just going to have to get ready to defend. He's actually going to be forced to fight this. He's going to fight this with equal upgrades +2 attack. About to finish though for Losira. And fighting this before the Mutas come in, or before the Queens come in, sorry, is probably quite a nice idea. Before transfuses are able to kind of really change the tide of battle. So nice, picking up a few units there, nice and quickly. Ravagers morphing in now as well. 4 of them in total coming in from Losira, none from Impact. Obviously a lot of his gas has gone onto Mutalisk production. As he comes in, tries to use his Mutalisk now to pick off reinforcements or so wherever he can. Try and pick off these Queens. A few more Queens to the north would be worth picking off as well if you can get the chance. 2 Spinecrawlers here will help Impact to defend, and Losira is not making much progress just yet, as the Mutas is still looking for reinforcements. Will find these Queens. Queens especially are great reinforcements to pick off because it stops the kind of anti-Muta army becoming even better. And it stops those transfuses too, which can actually mean so much in the Roach versus Roach fight as well. So great denial by Impact here, as we're just going to be seeing him continue to sit defensively there. Spinecrawlers do their work. He's down in an attack upgrade on the missiles, but again, he's got a lot to work with still, I feel as though he's got a good Roach number to go with. As here we go, I mean, transfuses start to come down from Losira to keep himself alive, but it's just not enough. He's cleaning out a lot of the Mutas in the back, but he just isn't going to have the Roaches on the ground, and you can just see Impact has way too much. Cleans this up. A few Mutas get left over as well, and Losira will just GG from that point. Impact takes game 1. So let's do this. The bottom right hand side is going to be the blue Zerg player. Looking to bounce back from defeat in game number 1. And he's going to do it with a 12 pool. It is Losira to the bottom right side of Frozen Temple. To the top left hand side, our red Zerg. He's up 1 game. Can he defend the 12 pool? Well, let's find out. It is Impact. Again, guys, how's everybody doing today in the chat? Let me know how you're feeling as we enter our next game of this series. Again, after this, it is going to be time for that loser bracket final. Hero awaits the winner of this to play some PvZ, which would be very exciting, actually. Let's see an Overlord. Just want to move up through the center of the map. Obviously, Overlords are going to be very important in this game, especially for Impact to try and identify these early Zerglings coming his way. But look at this. Impact with the build order win already. Gas pool opening is going to allow him to go straight away into a super nice position. He's going to have Lings out early. He's going to have Ling speed out early. And he's going to have that slight worker lead of the hatchery on the way to work with as well. It's not over for this series. You can definitely do something with this still, but it's going to be much harder than if this was a hatch gas pool. Few Lings starting to move up through the center of the map, so here we go. 6 of them in total already, and 2 more going to be popping out from the main base to the low ground, and now up through the center as well. So 6 Lings in total, or 8 Lings in total. 6 leading the charge though, and well, Impact, he knows about it. Losira hasn't wasted any time. He didn't go around the left hand side, the right hand side. With the 12 pool, it's really about getting across the map ASAP, and that's exactly what he's done here. Straight across, starting to work his way through this natural already. Drones will be pulled. This is the thing though, like Impact has his own Lings out fairly early, not as many. But he can afford to pull a few drones with the worker lead, and you know, how many drones has he pulled here? Let's look at this. He's pulled 7 drones. So he's only essentially 2 workers behind right now. But he'll make up for that later, and yeah, just going to be seeing these few units just kind of continue to move around. These Lings coming in, just trying to see what else they can do. And they're actually going to be able to grab a queen here, which is pretty nice, but it is going to force a commitment from these Zerglings in terms of damage being done, so they are going to have to fight a little bit here. Question is it enough? As we can see, Impact loses 1 Zergling so far, gets a lot of these Zerglings low, is able to push a lot of these back. He still needs a few more Lings of his own, though, to kind of come in here and help out. Gets 1 more kill, gets 1 more pick off. 17 to 18 workers now, as you can see, Losira is beginning to even up the worker count. The problem will be for Losira, I think, the gas count, which Impact will have, not actually much gas count necessary, but he does have the Ling speed coming in. Whereas you can see Losira is still yet to take an extractor. So that is a difference in the game right now. As we can see, Losira is still just trying to pick up a couple more units. He's going to lose out in these last few Lings now, though, as Ling speed kicks in. And again, that Ling speed may make life very difficult for him, as Impact will drone up a little bit, will be a couple drones behind. And it's going to be a very interesting game to play forwards from, because again, Ling speed is nice. But, that said, if Losira can defend, then Ling speed won't mean a lot. And then the work counts are even, the army supplies are fairly even. And we go into a fairly kind of even-paced game towards a mid-game. So, a lot of potential to go into different things right now. I love this. Just jumping on the drones is definitely the right decision. You know, you can try and target down a queen, but it's so unreliable whether you're actually going to get it or not and stuff like that. So, yeah, just going to see these Lings backing away, and you'll see a queen here helping to push an Overlord away through the center of the map as well. So continuing to do that as we see these few Lings going to get pushed back once again, and a few more Lings from Losira coming on forward, still seeing what else he can get up to. 12 more Zerglings being made currently from Impact as we see the 3rd hatchery starting to come down as well. So 3rd hatchery coming on in right now, and a few more Lings just gathering up together from Impact towards the front here. I was going to see this Overlord of Impact still just chasing this Overlord here, just wants to keep track of where that low health Overlord is, just in case he can maybe grab it again. These Lings of Losira out in the middle of nowhere, though, they're not meant to be there at all. They're going to go down super quickly. Impact takes a really good fight. I mean, he can go across the map, but then to do what? I mean, he's going to be fighting into a wall of Spanning Crawler and Queen Transfusers. Not going to happen. What he has done, though, is take a very fast third base in comparison to his opponent, taking the Roach Roaring 2. And Impact is taking all the advantages right now in terms of map control, faster third base timing, and even to some extent, not necessarily tech actually. I mean, he doesn't have an Evo chamber yet, he doesn't start his lair yet, but he's still not far behind on tech for all the other advantages which he does have. And he actually has a drop in Overlord again to the main base. I love this because if Losira doesn't expect it, there's so much potential damage. Sees the queens at the front still. You know what, I wouldn't even mind this group of Lings going in towards the main base too. So much potential damage here as we see Losira now. Does he start more drones, or is there a few roaches which he starts up? Another Overlord, another 2 Overlords. Oh no. With +1 star, and he's definitely just going to keep on making kind of, well, drones, I think. He's not going to make any roaches straight away anyways. There's 4 now. There's already so many Lings in this main base, and this could be deadly. In towards the mineral line they go, and Losira has no response to this. He pulls drones immediately. This queen will go down, though. I mean, so many workers are going to die. 4, 8 already killed, and that number's just going to keep on rising. 12, 13 already going down. I mean, now queens can be surrounded too. Yes, there's plenty of transfuses, but still, that's just going to be transfuses wasted on these queens. I think Impact is probably quite happy to trade out for these transfuses in the very end. 14 workers killed, 43 to 29 workers overall. Losira starts the Nidus network for the second game in a row. You gotta wonder, like, why? I mean, does he really think this is gonna work? I mean, perhaps if you can get an attack going for himself, but actually more Lings and Roaches on the way from Losira, from Impact, sorry, means he should just have enough units to deal with this. Overlord's still ready to drop in the main, which means he can punish any units that are out of position. Which unfortunately loses a few of these Zerglings here, which could have been really nice. The Nidus network is going to finish soon. I mean, it might be able to get up in the main base, but I'm not sure if it's going to be able to do enough anyways. I'm really not sure if it's going to be able to do enough anyways. We see Losira just sat over here. A few Lings getting ready to go. There's the Nidus again. Impact does not see this. So he's going to be out of position with a few Lings. Not too many, though. Let's see an Overseer over here getting pushed away by these few queens going very far forwards. He actually realizes that there's an attack opening in here. You'll see the Nidus now as well as he sneaks on in. He realizes it's in the main. So he starts to pull these units back in towards the main base of his own. He's got his Lings in this mineral line. He's going to pick off a queen at least. And he'll probably just stay in the main base. Because actually, outside of the main base, you know, in the natural, there's spine crawls to help his opponent defend. As we see him pushing on forwards now, trying to clean up this attack. He'll pull his drones in as well, realizing he's in a lead. He just needs to hold this attack off, and he's going to do it comfortably by trading out a few drones at the same time. And Losira knows it. GG. Impact turns this score around from the earlier 0-2 against Losira to a 2-0 victory. And Impact is going to take